I just did the ESPN Honolulu. I got to town yesterday, met with both the UNLV staffs today as well as the University of Hawaii staff. I got an alumni event at 5 o'clock. I'm like the busiest man in Vegas right now.
It's just the ninth island, they said, man. It's just
Where's the alumni event?
It's at the California.
Of course.
And you could transfer that hotel in the middle of Kalihi on Oahu, and you would have no different clientele. There are more masks at that hotel than in the history of the United States.
Well, they got alumni here from.
Yeah,
I know you guys had alumni.
Bro, it's bigger here than it is in Hawaii because, like most of the football players, like eventually leave to Vegas, Phoenix, Seattle, wherever it is, and they come to this alumni thing. I think we'll have a bigger crowd than you guys tomorrow.
Let's not do that.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Yeah, but DC already said that the other day. We were stirring the pot on that one.
But that's good, though. That's good for football, man.
That's good for football.
The rivalry's been dead for a long time.
The rivalry hasn't been dead. The crowds here have been small.
Okay, I would say.
But for Hawaii games, they show up because a couple of years ago they showed up.
Yeah, and you know what? They circled this every 2 years. People travel over by the thousands, literally, like Hawaiian Air, United Air.
Oh, nice.
They're coming to this game. They're here to see Hawaii win. And I'll tell you what, UNLV 3-1, first time since I think 1987. They look like the real deal. Or at least the floor is rising.
Did you when you met Odom and the crew? What did you think?
Well, Odom is stiff, He's one of them defensive curmudgeon type of guys. He's not going to give you a lot of information, not a lot of smiling.
He's not going to give you a lot of information.
Yeah. He might be giving
Steve
you
gets
guys.
the information.
I get all the information.
But at the same time, the first FBS head coach to take over the program, he knows how to recruit. He knows his Brendan Marion, the go-go offense, and the special teams coordinator. They got a staff now, and they got some athletes. They got speed. It's just a matter of time. I've been saying this for like 10, 15 years. I always dog Mark, but how come UNLV can't turn that around? You guys got money. You got athletes. You got the proximity to L.A. You've got these facilities, and you can't win. You got to get the right coach. Yeah. This could be the guy.
I know Steve's been around the program a lot longer than me. He's been through. I think I've been through 2 head coaches since I've been living here. But I really do get a good vibe of Coach Odom, man. I really do. Going to the practices in the spring and then seeing these guys transfer over that same energy to the game, it's positive to see, man. These guys are flying around. They're 2 deep, sometimes 3 deep in the secondary. They got a lot bigger, a lot more size. Like you said, man, if they can just continue to win, this could be a really good situation for a coach. And obviously, the special teams. Like I'm a special teams guy. Yeah, I'm a special teams guy.
Me too, bro. You and I were on a lot of kickoffs together, bro.
Yeah, and I know early in the season, I think it was preseason or training camp. You guys had the special teams coach in the meeting room, and it was like a really good informational deal for the special because he spends a lot of time on it, and a lot of teams don't spend a lot of time.
I've never, and it's not like I've covered like 50 teams. I've rarely seen a team in practice spend so much time on special teams. Odom really thinks it's important.
Yeah, and that's usually a defensive-minded head coach. But more to that is this dude has been like special teams coach of the year in the NCAA like a couple of times. They start practice every day with special teams. And Mark will tell you, if you start practice with special teams, you know that head coach is serious about special teams.
Yeah, we did that at Alabama. We practiced special. Coach Gene Stallings was huge on special teams, and we won a lot of games with special teams as well. Late games, field goals, punt team, so we won a lot of games. We practiced special teams before practice and after practice. We practice special teams. So it's real. It's good to see because that's how I made my bread and butter in the league, man. Came in on those special teams.
So my fear going against Hawaii and watching some of the games and even watching the game down there, which UNLV basically – that changed everything because they didn't make a bowl game, and then I think that was the final straw for the AD with Marcus Arroyo, and then they wound up changing coaches. I like Shager. I know he makes mistakes, but, man, I like the way he throws. He freaking trusts his arm.
Yeah.
He spins it better than anybody I've seen in Hawaii in decades, and that includes Cole Brennan. That includes some real players. The thing about it is he's not that fleet of foot, so he's not +1. He's not like a guy you have to defend on the RPOs, zone reads, even like quarterback draws, quarterback powers. That's what you guys have. And all 3 of those quarterbacks, too, from the state of Hawaii and then Brumfield can actually run it. And that's difficult defensively to defend. But Shager, make no mistake about it, if he can set his feet and he can get protection, he can sling it with like Sunday guys.
Yeah, and I think I texted you during that game. I think they were playing Stanford. And I texted you, I was like, man, I really like the way this quarterback slings the ball, man. He was airing it out. So, the defense will be tested again tomorrow in the secondary, which is, they've been up to the task. They've been turning the ball over a lot more than they were in the past. They're now getting interceptions, fumbles, and turnovers. So I'm excited, man. I'm a fan of this game, and I'm really want to see this matchup really live up to the hype that it's building up to be.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, to me, this is the run and shoot, right? So the tight end just entered the transfer portal. They're going to go a lot more 10 personnel.
He's out already?
Yeah, he's out, bro.
Oh.
It's like middle of the season. I'm out, bro. And the reason why, because it was becoming a more run and shoot team, more 10 personnel, so you don't really use a tight end. So, good for him. But what I'm getting at is, the one thing the defensive coordinator said from UNLV is they haven't been real successful stopping an aerial attack. Mm-hmm. And this could be the aerial attack that, can gain some yards, because they got some Hawaii got some young brothers, man, playing receiver that actually have linear ability, have catching radius, have the ability to make you miss. This is a young group of receivers, but they're talented.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game. Like I said, man, on both sides of the ball. Obviously, UNLV's, you got some really good guys that came over in the transfer portal that's really stepped up for these guys big time as well. Whenever you got a quarterback that can spin it, if you're a defensive back, you're sleeping pretty good, because you're going to get opportunities in the air. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how the secondary fails for the UNLV Rebels tomorrow.
Rich Miano is with us, former Jet and Eagle, played in Hawaii.
Richie Rich, we call him Body by Jake.
Atlanta Falcons, too.
Atlanta Falcons.
You play for the Falcons? I don't know.
Mark McMillian's with us. On defense, who are the guys to look for? I'm not saying this is the guy, but I got a kick out of seeing the roster with Sauce Williams, he's like 5'11", 340. I think he's rotational. But he's actually on PFF, on Pro Football Focus. He's actually the highest rated defensive player.
Sauce, I called him Sauce Gardner last week because
Sauce Gardner?
It was
he locking people down?
Slip, but I'm saying he's a baller, bro. He's 5'10", legitimately, maybe 5'10" and 4/8, but he's 330 pounds. And I first started noticing this dude against the University of Albany.
And you called him Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, they don't look anything alike, bro. But he got effervescence, bro. He's gregarious. Everybody loves this kid. And this kid, he penetrates with that low center of gravity. And even like on running plays, he gets in the backfield. He disrupts things. Passing plays, again, he penetrates the middle. And he is developing into one of my favorite plays. But there's another guy, Peter Manuma, who's number 1, who I've said, sometimes it's hyperbole. It's superfluous. It's Troy Polamalu. It's Talanoa Hufanga. This dude has hair coming out of the back of his helmet. He runs around and makes plays at free safety. Mark will like this kid.
Didn't he get popped for targeting in one of the games?
He had 3 personal fouls in a row, 3 games in a row. Kind of pissed me off. Oh. But you know what? This dude is playing with enthusiasm. He's going to hit you, and he's a difference maker.
I'll tell you what, it is funny listening to games, and I listen while I'm down on the sideline to our guy Caleb Herring. And man, when those targeting calls are made, the former players are like, "What the hell is going?" Like, people hate the call, and then the review and everything else. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back. I do want to talk a little bit NFL. We got about 5 minutes left with Rich and Mark, so stick around.